Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. You know that feeling when you're watching TV, halfway through your coffee, expecting the usual banter, the familiar smile, and then, out of nowhere, the air changes, the script drops, and for a breathtaking moment, you're not looking at a celebrity on a screen, you're connecting with another human being, heart to heart, through the glass. That's what happened today. In the warm, buzzing studio that has felt like a friend's kitchen for over 2 decades, something quietly monumental occurred. Kelly Ripa, the embodiment of morning light and resilient cheer, paused. The effortless smile that greets America daily softened, then faded. The vibrant energy of the studio seemed to draw a deep, collective breath and hold it. No cue cards flashed, no dramatic music swelled. There was just Kelly, a familiar presence in our lives, allowing the flawless facade to fall away. And in that silence, before she even spoke, millions of us at home felt it. A shift. This wasn't hosting, this was humanity, raw and unmistakable. What followed wasn't a scandalous reveal or a manufactured crisis. It was something far more powerful, an unscripted confession of emotional weight. Her voice, usually bright with cadence, grew softer, threaded with a vulnerability we rarely witness in our public squares. She spoke of the quiet exhaustion that comes from constant giving, of the invisible weight we carry even when we show up, smiling, to do our jobs, of the profound loneliness that can exist right in the middle of a brightly lit room surrounded by people. Sometimes, she said, her words deliberate and gentle, you show up smiling, but inside you're holding more than people realize. Did you feel that? Like a key turning in a lock you didn't even know was closed? Because how many of us have done exactly that? How many of us have perfected the art of fine? We armor up with humor, we hide behind routine, we press mute on our own inner turmoil to meet the day's demands. We do it for our families, our jobs, for the simple, relentless need to keep going. And here was Kelly, a woman whose job is to be perpetually on, finally giving voice to that universal, unspoken ache. She wasn't just speaking her truth, she was echoing ours. This is why the moment shattered the typical talk show chatter and became something else entirely. This wasn't entertainment, it was recognition. In a media landscape desperate for clicks through outrage and gossip, Kelly offered something radical, emotional reality. She traded perfection for truth, and in doing so, she didn't lose an ounce of her strength, she redefined it. Right before our eyes, she demonstrated that true strength isn't about being an impenetrable fortress. It's about the courage to be a real, feeling person in a world that often asks you to be a statue. She held space for her own emotion without being consumed by it. She was composed yet profoundly open. That balance, that brave, vulnerable authenticity, is perhaps one of the most compelling things we can ever witness. The response was immediate and deafening in its empathy. Social media didn't explode with scandal, it swelled with solidarity. Comments poured in like a collective sigh of relief. I felt that in my soul. Thank you, Kelly, for saying what so many of us feel. It's like she was speaking directly to me this morning. I don't feel so alone now. This is why I've trusted her for 20 years. This is real. Viewers weren't just fans commenting on a celebrity moment, they were people connecting to a shared experience. They saw a reflection of their own quiet struggles in her honesty. That's the alchemy of true vulnerability. It transforms a broadcast into a conversation, and an audience into a community. Let's be clear, live television is a high-wire act without a net. There are no second takes, no forgiving edits. In that pressurized environment where a career can be made or broken on a single misstep, Kelly had every opportunity to deflect. She could have cracked a joke, she could have pivoted to a lighter topic, she could have shielded herself and us from the discomfort of real feeling. But she didn't. She chose to stay in that fragile, honest place. And with that choice, she extended an immense amount of trust to her co-host, to her crew, and to every single person watching. She trusted us with her truth. And when you are trusted with someone's truth, you can't help but lean in. You can't help but care. This moment will be remembered not for its drama, but for its devastating sincerity. It wasn't a headline, it was a heartbeat. In a mere minute, Kelly&Ripa reminded us of several profound truths we so easily forget. That everyone carries a weight we know nothing about. The people who seem the brightest are often fueling that light with their own emotional reserves. That honesty is the highest form of respect. She respected our intelligence and our humanity by not feeding us a polished performance. That connection is born in vulnerability. Our shared frailties are what truly link us far more than our shared successes. So what led to this moment? What was the specific weight that made the guard drop today? The truth is, the why behind the emotion is almost secondary. What matters is the what that it created, a powerful, palpable wave of Me Too across the country. This was a masterclass in emotional courage. Kelly&Ripa didn't deliver breaking news today, she delivered a broken open heart. And in doing so, she gave millions permission to acknowledge the weight of their own. She reminded us that it's okay to not be okay. That strength sometimes looks less like a steady smile and more like a trembling voice that chooses to speak anyway. That the most powerful thing you can be in a world of filters is to be unfiltered. If this moment resonated with you, if you felt that pinch of recognition in your chest, that relief of being seen, then honor that feeling. This is your reminder. You are not alone in your quiet burdens. Your vulnerability is not a weakness, it is your connective tissue to every other human being. And sometimes the bravest, most impactful thing you can do is simply to be real. If Kelly's words today felt like a gift, pay that feeling forward. Share this story with someone who might need to hear it. Let them know it's safe to lay down the fine for a minute. Leave a comment sharing what this moment meant to you. Your voice adds to this chorus of understanding. And above all, carry this lesson from the studio into your own life. In a world that constantly asks you to perform, the greatest act of rebellion is to be authentically, beautifully, imperfectly yourself. Thank you, Kelly, for that rebellion. And thank you for watching, for listening, and for being part of this very human community. The conversation has just begun. Want to go deeper? This on-air moment was a glimpse into a deeper story. In our next piece, we'll explore the quiet build-up to today's powerful confession, the unseen pressures of a life lived in the public eye, the emotional cost of decades spent uplifting others, and why this single act of honesty may become the most defining moment of Kelly&Ripa's legendary career. This isn't about gossip, it's about understanding the profound humanity behind the persona. If today touched you, you won't want to miss what comes next.